It's that time again, AEW All Out match card predictions and winners, and does Jon Moxley really need that strap? No, but MJF does.
Hey, stay connected. Follow Pro Wrestling Bits.
Given the talent involved, the All Out Casino Battle Royal is sure to produce its share of AEW All Out highlights. Let's play a process of elimination among the top competitors. Darby Allin just got a shot against Jon Moxley, so did Brian Cage, so they're out. That essentially leaves Lance Archer and one of the unnamed participants as the favorite. Could the unnamed combatant be Brock Lesnar? Just kidding, it won't be, because Brock Lesnar to AEW will probably never happen. Lance Archer wins. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara's bloody feud takes its next turn in a broken rules match. A funny play on words for what has been a surprisingly serious feud despite the cue cards involved. I see Matt Hardy winning whatever this match ends up being, setting up a Sammy Guevara win in a rubber match. AEW will host an interpromotional match between Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. The history of pro wrestling dictates that it's pretty much sacrilegious to have a talent from another company beat one of your own talents on your own programming. But this is supposed to be the progressive company, and a limited and constantly embattled women's division needs something. And Thunder Rosa taking the AEW Women's Championship to NWA is something. Still, I just don't see it. Not on AEW TV. Hikaru Shida wins with a show-stealing match. Britt Baker and Big Swole made headlines this week, not for booking a match at AEW All Out, but rather for initially being announced for the pre-show. This led the fan backlash, forcing AEW to pull out its pacifier and move this match to the main show. This has been a tooth and nail, literal blood feud, with Britt Baker shining as one of the premier heels on national pro wrestling TV, and Big Swole hitting one home run after another in her role as a badass babyface. Woo! This one should be great. Britt Baker wins with help from Reba. Brody Lee is the best monster heel in pro wrestling, full stop. More at the link above. But this match is a tricky one because the babyface team is filled with guys who can take a loss, and Matt Cardona, and the heel team is filled with guys who can take a loss, and Brody Lee. Team Babyface wins by pinning anybody but Brody Lee, who will probably walk out on those goons anyway. The Young Bucks versus the Jurassic Express could be one of the multiple sea-changing matches in AEW, with the Young Bucks acting increasingly heelish. Everybody loves the Jurassic Express, who will absolutely be the babyfaces in this match, which will create a very interesting dynamic leading into the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks win. AEW has impressively rebuilt FTR into the old-fashioned ass-kicking tag team they were always meant to be. They just feel like uncrowned tag team champions in this company, with AEW playing up dissension between Omega, Page, and the Young Bucks, and once that powder keg explodes, FTR will be gone with the tag team title loot before the dust settles. FTR wins the titles after the Young Bucks get involved and somebody turns heel. Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy are at the end of what could be a star-making feud for Cassidy. Both are tied at one apiece, with Orange Cassidy earning the biggest win of his career on a recent episode of Dynamite. Chris Jericho will always be Chris Jericho, and there's no reason for AEW to balk at one of the many golden opportunities it has to make a 20-something-year-old a star overnight like Flair did Sting. This wacky stipulation should deter from a potential Chris Jericho loss while still elevating Orange Cassidy in victory. Orange Cassidy wins. I fully expect blood and oranges. Jon Moxley has been a dominant AEW World Heavyweight Champion. In fact, he has not lost a single match in 2020. And while MJF has been surging as a heel, the trajectory of this feud sets up Jon Moxley to get revenge and walk away with the victory after taking a serious beating on the go-home show this past Wednesday. Having said that, Jon Moxley was a big star in AEW from day one, and the company has only improved his stock since then. Chris Jericho dropped the belt to Moxley after only 182 days, so at 189 days, maybe it's time for Moxley to do the honors himself. Forget about MJF's age. This is a talent business, and MJF is on the short list of the best heels in wrestling. It's better to be too early on a guy like this than too late. Having said that, Moxley wins with MJF's pinky ring.